Oh, what's going on, YouTube? It's Donnie P all day. So, bringing you something slightly different today, but still in the right category of survival. I am bringing you the Emergency Fire Kit by Zippo. You can pick these up at Walmart for like, what was it, $7.99, I think it was, something like that. But all it is, you got to get yourself a little stick, or just hold it in your hand. That's what I'm going to do probably today. And it says just zip. So I already took out my trusty dusty steel wheel cut jack. I opened up the package, just wanted to show you what it looked like. So now what happens is you take this out and you see that it's got the little spinner there like on a lighter, and all it's doing is throwing spark, right? So you got just that. Simple. You unscrew this right here. Hollow, right? Hollow. There's your flint. Hollow. Oh, well, what's a hollow for? What are you going to do with it? Well, let's show you. Let's show you. Now, everybody knows that fire making is important. You can't survive without heat, right? So, basically what they do is they give you these cotton wads. And what we got to do is get them open. So, well, good thing I thought of that first. Let's just cut that right there and peel that right there. They really package the hell out of these to keep them dry, which is crazy because this thing's waterproof, but it's not waterproof inside the package. All right, so let's go. This is what the cotton wad looks like. It has a little hole in it, and the reason for that is so you can stick something through like a twig, and you can use that to get your fire started. And once you get it started, you can use that twig to shove this into the part you need to heat, right? So let's get out the rest of it, which is just a cap. And once again, we're going to rely on the old steel wheel. And without cutting my cap, there we go. So, oh, threw it at myself. Here we go. Here's the cap. Here's that. You just spin this around on there, and voila, you have a waterproof, and we're going to test it, waterproof holder for your cotton wads. So before we do anything, I say we test the waterproofness of this guy. And what I got to do is get all my cotton wads and dump them in there. So one at a time. Oh, let me pause. You don't have to watch that. Well, that was easy. All right, so I shoved all my little cotton wads in there, and I'm going to take the flint and stick it through the center of one of them, and I'm going to spin this bad boy on there. Go nice and tight without snapping it in half because I tend to over tighten. And I say, let's see if it's waterproof. Let's go. All right, so there's three main ways something's going to get wet and get ruined, right? It's either going to be caught in the rain, it's going to be dropped in a puddle, a thin, a shallow water, or you are going to have to be completely submerged as you walk or wade through water, something like that. So what we're going to do first is we're going to test it in the rain. Oh, I'm in the rain. Oh, it stinks. In the rain. Let's see. Dry it off so I don't get my wads wet from opening it. Because you got to your campsite, you're wet, you're going to get your little towel out or whatever you have. We're going to turn it up. And we are completely dry as a bone. No water, no leaking anywhere. So let's drop it in a puddle. Let's drop it in a puddle. Probably take off the rain to make the puddle nicer. All right, so here we have a puddle of water. We're gonna, oh man, that stinks. I just dropped it in the water. So let's find out if it's waterproof. Let's find out. Oh, I'm gonna dry it off real quick. We're gonna open it up. We're gonna look at our cotton and we're gonna say, cotton is still dry. Inside is still dry. Zero wetness. Let's put it back on. The only other way a thing's going to get wet is if it's dunked in water. If you have to walk through a river, or if you drop this thing, and it floats too. So you have this little guy right here. If you tie it onto your gear, right, and you are going through the water, it'll float with you, so it won't leave you as long as it's tied on. I like that. Let's do this. Let's get ourselves a body of water. There's a body of water. I'm going to completely submerge it. Hold it underwater like I'm trying to drown a caterpillar. Don't do that, boys and girls. All right, so we now have our drowned caterpillar. We're gonna dry it off, just so we don't get water in there, because I don't want to jinx this test and say, oh, well, it could be leaking. But now that we have it dry, let's take a peek. Cotton is dry. There's nothing on that wad. The inside of the cap is dry. There is nothing in there. So now it comes down to, let's see if we can't strike a spark. This is going to be easy. Hold on. All right, so this is what I'm going to do. I've got myself a little fat wood, right? We've got our little fire starter right there, and I've got my cut jack, steel wheel cut jack. I tell you guys all the time, man, just a knife that can process. I mean, you never know when you're going to need your knife to process wood, even something like this, a little lockback, right? You never know what knife you're going to need for processing. I needed to do a little processing. Bada boom, bada bing. It worked. So let's crack this open. We're going to pull out one wad, and we're going to close this cap right here. So that's closed. Now what we're going to do is we're going to hold this red cap, and we're going to unscrew this, and I'll let it fall to the ground. Now I have my wad on my stick, and I have the little arrow telling me which way my spark's going to go. So I am going to do that, and I don't know. I've never used one of these, so I don't know if you're supposed to just hold it there or what, but all it does is let out a spark. And so I can see it's starting to brown right here. Now, in the description, it shows that they put something like a little fire starter out of there, and who knows, maybe, just maybe, I don't know if they get one of these guys started, and that's what they do. Maybe they punch a little bit out of there, but it looked like there was something in the description above that, and I think that could be the trick right there. And boom, just like that. All I did is I used my stick, pushed a little bit of the inside to the outside, and check that out, guys. So now I'm going to open this up, and where I've got some cardboard, and I'm going to get a fire started. And these little emergency fire kits, I mean, when you really need a fire in an emergency, apparently this guy right here is going to do the trick. And all I did is push a little bit of itself, right? Push a little bit of itself out, and now it looks like I'm roasting a marshmallow, a little mini marshmallow. So what do I think about these little fire kits? Well, I can't lie to you guys, it works. So, I mean, the only thought I can have on it is positive, right? I had to figure it out on myself because that cotton is so tightly wound in there. I was thinking to myself, how am I going to get this lit with just a spark? As soon as I pushed it out, you guys seen it. Made a little fluff from inside of its own self. I made a little fluff, hit a little ignition, and that thing went right up. So what that means for old D-Bad is this thing right here is being attached to my bag, and I will have this every single time I am hitting the bush, out in the woods, doing whatever I need to do. This little Zippo right here, that thing is pretty cool, man. This is a good little kit, and the fact that it's all self-contained and every single thing you need is right here. It's waterproof. It can be used as a dangler. You can put it in your bag, but I know that if I put it on a line and attach it to the outside of my bag where I know it will always be, and I'm going through water, I don't have to worry about it submerging inside my bag. If it's on a line, whoop, it'll float like a little bobber. Speaking of that, if it's floating so good, because I had to hold it down, if you have fishing line and you're in a real tight spot, you can use this as a bobber. I would empty it all out, take everything out, all the little cottons, put them in my bag. That way I have a completely lightweight hollow tube. You could use this as a fishing bobber. Extra survival. Extra, extra, extra. Just awesome. Really, really liking this. I think this was a really good make from Zippo. Excellent job. Can I recommend it? Hell to the yeah. That's it. So if you're looking for a good fire starting kit for camping, if you got a kid in Boy Scouts, whatever, this right here would be super handy dandy. And it's so light, it's so small. Excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent. That's it. I'm trying to be all day. Till next video.